Thank you for tuning in with Enchantress. That is me, the babbler. That is me. On this evolutionary, revolutionary rise of an uprise that is happening at this time. Hi. And so, here comes a random, timeless message. Although I might be speaking in this video about certain, maybe even astrological currencies that are influencing our 3D multidimensional lands. Whenever you find yourself here, for whatever reason it is, my dear, there's something in here for you. And regardless if you feel that maybe there wasn't, right? Know that this is a healing channel, right? And so whether anything resonates with you or not, you are welcome here. And the energies that are here are very clear in terms of healing, my dear. And so whether you like me or not, my gift here as a conduit of galactic healing, right? I will still do whatever it is that I am going to do. Oh, I wanted you to see it. There's a hand here. Let me read this. Yeah, getting creative with my backgrounds. I've been playing around, learning, right? Which says repeat or evolve, right? So although these messages are timeless, we are currently, I don't even know today's date, but it's September 2020, late September 21st, 9 to 1, 9 to 1, 9 to 11, 12, 3, unity, right? Okay. And so this has been an interesting September. This has been an interesting entire year. This is just Palo Santo, so this is just clearing the space that is most clear anyways, but I clear it again because sometimes there are visitors that come here, my friends, with not the best energies and vibrations and frequencies or mindsets or reasons, whatever. And so because of that, even though, here is a healing space and a channel of a sanctuary that you are absolutely fully safe to be in, no matter the reason for your season of invite. And anyone not here for the greater good of us all, well, may they receive the healing that they need, right? But may they be expelled, like, immediately, because spooky stuff is not welcome. But either way, we are safe, even from that type of nonsense-ery, right? So anyways, I didn't mean to get into that kind of thing. I just want to thank each and every one of you. I welcome each and every one of you. You're safe here. This is a healing station channel, regardless of whatever topic of discussion is discussed, no matter what is recorded and shared with you. There is healing in this for you. So that is part of my purpose, to be this conduit of healing energy that exists through me, that I have embraced and now share publicly. Doesn't mean it's new. It's my relationship with it that's new and evolving and allowing and learning. I'm not exempt from learning here in this 3D human perceived vessel that is I. Either way, I know I can be rather profoundly deep for most humans and beings on this planet. It's a rejection from life that my inner child is bringing to the surface to allow the evolution of me that stands before she, an acknowledgement of she existing in me, that once upon a time it still is. She's me. Infusing this timeline that I align together, right? To create healing and solutions within my entire being, to realize and start implementing the lessons that I've learned and how I consciously now, in my now moment, create this new action, reaction, response, plan of execution. It's now when I create the energy by embodying the energy, not resisting the energy, by innerstanding the energies, by third party reviewing the energies, the experience, by allowing these interactions multidimensionally to take place that require my laser sharp focus to see it, to process it, to understand it, overstand it. What is time? Something that exists now because you have so many operating off of this man-made device that rules so many, keeping trapped potentials and possibilities due to the perceived understanding that conditioning will give to one who doesn't further explore the informations given, and it just accepts it as fact. So it takes it all in and complies, complacent, abides in the system of information systems that have been provided to and for. I just went in. Anyways, that's how this happens. Intentions to Babble, that's me, on this evolutionary, revolutionary ride, analyzing many things and sharing it with you guys. Because that's the facts of life. It's our experience and our exchange and our intergalactic ways of processing these things and moving past the strains of puppeteering days that are outplayed, and justice is now here. Certainly not an acceptance to the falsified realities tyrannically dictating and pulsating the planet. Either way. It's about, what time is it? 338. Okay. 338. So I was reading a lot, right, prior to like hitting record. And I was just reading a lot about like the Western astrology, current planetary aspects influencing, our lands, and also the Vedic astrology side to the current planetary influences that are influencing our lands, and just realizing that even then, like, I was reading, and because I'm not like stuck on a date, right? So I just, it didn't even dawn on me that it was the 21st. I was just reading it as if just knowing we're in the month of September, and just, reviewing and just seeing what energies naturally I feel are amplified or being highlighted for me, or what energies laying dormant in my psyche, subconscious, unconscious layers that are now emerging. I put this background on for a reason, because my mind, and my conversation with spirit that goes on, behind the scenes, privately, even here, when I say, oh, I hear, I listen, I just receive, that's dialogue between what? Between spirit and I, the divine that resides within I, that I hear many times, and getting to know different aspects and layers and dimensions to whatever it is that we think it is. At the moment we think those things are what they are, yet are they? Right? So I was just reading, like, seeing the lines that cross and stuff. Like, I don't consider myself an astrologist or anybody even just like textbook savvy in absolute full knowledge of these things, but I do know what resonates, and I do know that I have been an astro queen for a very long time. Young as elementary school, if we gotta go into a timeline, and elementary school was over 20, 30 years ago. There's a lot of things that we are now being asked to sow, right? Especially with a lot of the energies that are currently influencing our lands, right? You have the Three of Swords, just even just showing up in the Magician here. And I just see, like, this is a different deck entirely, but like, I'm gonna read this intuitively. I can get it from the book as well, right? But like looking over what has pierced, hurt, betrayed, lied, denied, oppressed, suppressed, hurt, right? Looking at these things from a new highlighted perspective, a paradigm shift reflective that got us on our introspective, knowing we hold every single ace, right? Every single ace, every single new potential of something greater than we know to be. But aligning with alchemy is this seed we are asked to breed and be as we go through the hellfire, you see, of dysfunctioning and the triggering, right? And the getting to know ourselves, learning the positions, the roles we have played, acknowledging many things that once upon a time ago we just didn't entertain, but all the foolishry and waste of time with things and funkeries of you can't get back those time in those things, of bad choices we've made, or shames and pains and things we do behind closed doors that if the light was ever shown onto us, we wouldn't do it. So shining this light, like, on ourselves at this most, like, evolutionary time, being asked to show the way of the new moon creative solutions, being energized into possibility due to the accountability you have in your participation to all that you choose to focus on. Right? You're the magician. Of what do you create? Coming from an evolved state, right? Then you have the beginning of the month, September, with the full moon energies. I don't remember what they were in, but I feel like there was a Pisces Aquarius element, whether it be in Vedic or Western astrology. Both are applying for me. Dynamics you see around like September 1st, dates. But anyways, like that whole dynamic of just that energy alone of like whatever, like I just feel like there's so many like intensifying energies behind the scenes, right? Influencing the 3D, which is where you and I currently reside. So there's so many things going on in our lives that require our full attention, require, us to like do what we need to do in order to maintain. Then we have this pandemic that we were hit with in this 2020 time frame of a year 4 that was meant to structure and build foundations, and that kind of 4 vibration. If numbers, they are frequencies and vibrations too, getting to know you in your world, or perceived, or perception, or consciousness deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And now entertaining the keeper you are of your vessel that is more than this body you see. There's a whole industry of life existing inside this hive, right? And so much advancement is taking place on a consciousness level. It's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And even if you can't understand what it is that you see, there's some awakening energy that is like setting off like a wildfire. You see spreading much faster than one thought to be, right? And so there's a lot of resisting energies too also taking place to fill the role that is their role to play in whatever dynamic of a stage is presented. Their role is still that unless they evolve. And the reason why the majority of you that are here, that come here for the revolutionary purposes, and just the resonance of that and the healing effects of that, and no other kind of, dynamics you see, and that leveling, then you're the rare seed that is designed, or you just are the unique specimen that you are, wherever it is that you currently resonate, to be that change, force, energy, example, light, teacher, lover, parent, boss, leader, doctor, psychiatrist, like of the new. That is, granted, maybe unclear of exactly the way certain things need to be, but that's the beauty of creative solutions. There's expansion in these things, right? So just overall energy, like this entire month, has been a little heavy, especially in the beginning with the full moon, right? I think they also said, yeah, like the Pisces aqua. So yeah, Pisces aqua. Full moon energies are heavy as it is. And so like that overwhelmed, that extra tired, like, you know, increased crown chakra activity, because if you are overwhelmed, extra tired, your pace becomes a little bit more slow. You might not do as many activities if you are activist. I live what is it? It's called an active lifestyle, right? I do. Right. So you know, these things may have tired you out more. You may feel a little bit more tired, you know, exhausted or whatever, or just starting now to come out of that. Like, but the whole like first half of like September, the first like, it's just, you know, certain elements testing our patience a little bit more, because like certain things just require our time and our effort and our focus and our dedication, and you know, certain things. And maybe in the first beginning of the month, like certain things you may have wanted to be getting done were still not getting done, or like it's just, you know, putting together everything that needs to be done might have felt a little like, whoa, like that's too much, right? That's too much, right? And then let's not forget Mars going retrograde. Everyone's like, no, retrograde, what does that mean? Who the fudge knows? It's a definition made up by man to explain man's definition of a finding that man claims to have found. And it built lots of traction, lots of action, and now we got this frequency, energy, chemical reactions, you know, being shared like energy. That's what energy is. Dependent on its charge. It travels. It's shared. It's passed around. Okay? Right? So anything going retro, you know, it just amplifies whatever system is being activated. So it's Mars. The planet Mars. Men are from Mars. Women are from Venus. But just think of the Mars energy. That's like masculine energy. It's action. It's yang. So Mars energy going retro reminds me of like Aries, right? Or like just the depiction of Aries and Taurus, or just the toddlers of the zodiac, the ones that I recall, just based off of the astrological system that we have known to date, right? Understanding this system of astrological findings and studies and ways of understanding every sign and its number and blah, blah, blah. For most astrological understanding, right? Aries is typically viewed, now I'm not talking individually, I'm just saying astrologically, right? It's usually viewed and taught, or, you know, shared in knowledge that it's, I want to word it. Give me a second. Hi. Right, so what was I saying? So just it's typically understood in astrology that Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Okay. And so if we go from that description of understanding astrology, then Mars, which I believe rules that is what. See, this is what I get like. Just speaking. Aries, yeah, sorry I'm saying it right. I just wanted to make sure. So Mars is ruled by Aries or whatever. So if we're feeling on Mars energy, right? Aries being the first sign, although from where I am in my understanding, overstanding, I wouldn't necessarily put any numbers anywhere, but I can understand the pattern and the cycle, right? So it is safe to say in my understanding of the systems of cycles, there's no way to determine whether Aries is the first or the last. The same way Pisces can't be determined to be the last, because it could just very much well be the first, if we were looking at it from a circle of life pattern, right? That encloses a system. Advising the world or the others that it can never be anything more than these things, right? In some kind of constitution of some sort. That's why people will argue about the sign of Ophiuchus and be like, oh, how can there be a 13th sign? No, there's only 12 signs, I'm messing up everything. And there we go, right? So when I just think of Mars energy, I just think about if it's going retro, and from understanding just the retro systems and the energies retrogrades play, which is, reevaluating, reassessing, recharge, rejuvenate, like just, it gives whatever opportunity to you to now make into full alignment or repair or, reevaluate and create for you whatever it is that you need to create for you that is being brought up that didn't get resolved, it didn't get healed, it didn't get you don't have closure, like, it's something that got brushed under. So retrogrades will bring what's under that is prepared and ready now to come up, right? And so this is the now time. This is the now time moment in retrograde season to use this as a wonderful opportunity to detach quickly from your emotions, because there will be a lot of stuff that would come up that will cause little trigger points for you. So you don't want to participate in that kind of a line too, because then you look like you're going to be repeating the same shit. So we're not here or wanting or hip or in alignment to want to do that. So why do that? Why self-sabotage in that kind of way? Because we are getting creative in every kind of stage of play. of entertain that we have for ourselves at this time, because we are aligning in our truth, our purpose. We now understand our stance, our position, our role, our heart, our mind, our body, our soul is better now, right? And so, right there, I'm tired, I'm cranky, sick of doing this. That's what needs to be purged already. And I hate using the word purged, right? But I just think about that self-sabotaging energy that serves no purpose but to frustrate, irritate, stagnate, and radiate. And that's not a matching energy of reality, of a desire that you truly want. Speaking. Right? So, anyways, I just want to talk about this. I'm recording. Okay. Right, so I'm just making sure it's recording again. So, where am I going with all of this? Right, it's just babble with creative solutions, right, that are emerging, okay, and just inner sight and healing energies being offered to you in regards to whatever brings you here, okay? So, anyways, you have this Mars energy going retrograde, right? And just tapping into Mars energy and just understanding its ruling of Aries, that we were going to say, from its baby positioning. There might be a lot of inner charms, wounds, surfacing through current, not so much current experience, but it's the reason for the current hiccup, delay, or perceived slow pace of, of build up, or whatever. But its form might not show itself as the small child. But the question to ask the form is, when did you first appear? What do you mean? When did you first appear? I mean, this feeling, or this perception, or this understanding I believe myself to have, or this experience that has scarred me in some way, or this feeling that I'm feeling right now, whatever it is. What is its origin? Like, what childhood perception has created the mindset of you right now in regards to like so many things, how wonderful you are, in regards to how successful you should be, in regards to the love you feel you think you want. Which is it that you want? What experience or belief or fear, perception, conditioning, distorted, right? What distorted memory self-sabotages you now by appearing in a way that you, the human, have failed to see. And so now you ask because you know that when you knock, the door shall open. And when you ask, you shall receive. And so, what inner child womb shows itself in my now experience that goes undetected by me, that for once needs to be acknowledged and seen, so that I may transmute it immediately by healing what's ready to be healed. You've come a long way. Yeah. Right. And here you are as the magician. In the wands. Right? This is more of that Mars energy, that Yang energy, that masculine energy, right? Create a solution between, if you think about Jupiter, right? Think about Jupiter, Grandpa Jupiter, and Uranus, teaming up, right? Jupiter and Uranus. Jupiter, representative of the fire elements. You can say, right? King of Wands energy, Sag, Leo, Aries, right? Mars energy, Aries, right? King of Wands energy, right? So they so lit, to be so passionate and clear, right? Let's go something this next one. A man with a domineer look, a luminous wand, and a tulip, meaning vivid, strong will, looking for adventures, conscious of his responsibility, creative, generous, aesthetic, hard, impetuous, and fanatic. Right? So, King of Wands energy, looking for adventure, strong will, conscious of your responsibilities, right? Understanding that there's so many other dynamics at play that are influencing the wave. And so you have a choice to activate and use the energies that are resourceful around you to further inspire you to create the improvement plan that is alchemy and relevant to your right now, because that's just how it is. And when you get hit with tuning into your own main street to not YouTube, right? Understanding your intentions and the why, right? Especially with these new moon energies, right? New moon energies. New moon energies like 17th. Today's the 21st. Okay. Energies, right? New moon energies that just took off. While Jupiter goes direct soon, right? It's a time of beneficial expansion. So it will be an optimal time to best understand our own intentions. It is best to formulate, create in full consciousness, setting purpose with our intention, improving our plans that match our current now realities and truths. Because if you're still trying to start your new with all you have learned, using the same strategy and formulas and methods and templates as always used and given, right? Where's the evolution in that? Because you're still using the same system to implement a new? No. So of course it's going to be tricky or appearing to be so, because that's part of the perception of your conditioning, to have you view the unseen or the unknown, or things that go against the grain as something that's like scary to entertain. So it's a risk, perceived risk, and not many are willing to take that risk. because it's more comfortable to stay where you know or you think you know, but do you know? Or what is it that you think you know, right? About any of it. Mind twist. Listen. Enchantress the Babbler is I. You look up the word Babbles. Then think of the story of um the fall of Babylon. I don't know. Anyways, I'm tired. It was like probably like 4 or something in the morning, and I have to get to bed too. For a little bit. Anyways, but yeah. So there's a lot of resisting or opposing energies that exist in our environment that tend to be the dominating influence in our environment. So the to get you to see outside of that environment with the new that you are learning or evolving from and trying now to implement or create or start afresh, right? It's hard or challenging, right? It's challenging to create something that is unknown, right? When you're trying to still figure it out for yourself, or things like that. It's like, how do you heal in the same environment that made you sick, right? Damn near perceived impossible. But when have we ever left our environment? Swords, right? Energy, Ace of Swords. True. That is true for you in regards to everything you do. Carrying the sword of truth with you everywhere you go allows you to see these things that you may not know, but you want to grow, right? So what about your current motivation, right? Right now, needs, right? What about learning? Yeah. What about learning better, best, your current motivation, right? Those feelings, those needs. Hey, it's time to learn best your motivations now, right? And what you want to learn from what you're discovering, which is exciting, okay? Most of the time, this world is seeking outside validation for the same validation that is missing from within their own environment of self-acknowledgement, self-love, value, and validation. So, what motivates you and why? That's important. And if your why to the reason why you do something, ask yourself, does this resonate with me? Is this what I want to do? And why? This is truth. What are your current motivations that are revealing themselves to you by the things you do and the questions you ask yourself about the things that you do? and why you do what you do, right? And learn more, discover more about the emerging you that is now consciously being responsive to all of life. And learn these now current responses you give and reactions you lean now towards, and where they come from, right? That is revealing itself to you, telling you more about you. Because it's time that you really see you for everything that you are. So this month has been a little trying or challenging for many, right? In the discovering of more to your psyche, the you that you are, and in whichever platform your awakening is happening on, you're further exploring and aligning with your moments of divine clarity, wisdom, and receiving that you receive, however it is that you receive. Because everyone's intuitive connection and reception is not the same. So the exploration part that is required by you to dive into you to further improve your own plans with creative solutions, right? You want to do this, you want to grow past your environment that made you sick, right? So you are going to have to implement many things that go outside what you would typically do, right? But you're the creator of those things too. That's the importantness. That's the important thing that needs to be received here by you. That it's not that you're taking someone's text or finding or case study. You're the way shower, but it begins with you and what you do with you through your experience, your life, your relationships, your choices, and the things that are coming up for you, retrograde style, to now reclaim, reignite, release. This could apply to thoughts, patterns, ways of doing things, belief systems, addictions, like relationship. It's going to show itself in which way it's going to show itself. And so now for like the rest of September, if we started off in the beginning of September, like feeling that extra like heavy, like that Ten of Swords energy, like overwhelmed, like that that overwhelmingness, right? Of just everything that needs to be done and the expectations we put on ourselves based off of whatever expectations we feel are our expectations. It's all a matter of breaking down the conditioning and the belief system and the culprit behind the thought that came into your existence that created that processing for you. Would it have been through an inception, a trauma, an experience, an implant, whatever, like whatever it's gonna be. So like for the rest of like September, like this energy into October, the 1st of October, there's another new moon from I think it's a full moon because we're in a new moon now. So the next one will be full moon. Right. So right. So now that the planets are shifting and retrograding and visiting and transiting other different planets, you should read many other or listen to many other people that speak about astrology and give very clear descriptions and articulate it so wonderfully well. I like to listen to Word of Baby Tarot for that. Like the way her articulation of like just even just astrology period I love. So I mean if you're into that kind of stuff, I'm channeling like, you know, in the way that I am and I'm just like in my my what's the word I'm looking for? Like I'm just like cool, calm, and collected right now. Like I'm just very like mellow yellow. Like that's my schmoo for the moment. Like, you know, because I've had a long day, week, whatever, and constantly, you know, doing what I need to do. And so this is my down time. And so like I'm recording. And that's just the way it is. The high priestess and the man of wands here, right? The high priestess, tap into your intuition at this time, right? Tapping into your intuition at this time, knowing that you are on this ride and you're full of line, truth, authentic as can be. But by October energies, right? By October 1st, full moon energies coming into effect, make sure that all this improvement plans that now with a lot of Virgo energy influencing our now lands, right? That we are getting real clear and clever with ourselves in terms of what it is that we want, right? And how we want it and what truth is our truth and what way is our way, right? And then also whatever once buried now shall rise. So anything that has been put away or numbed in some way, or maybe there's something you have to say, right? We also have the energies of like Venus and Cancer energies. And for that, I just feel compassion. Adding deep evolution to our compassion. In Vedic astrology, it says Mars goes retrograde, right, in between Aries and Pisces, right? It does like a back and forth kind of thing, and it even breaks it down into dates and stuff like that, right? Of like the influencing energies, right? And they consider that like casting spells, right? The high priest is tapping into your intuition is really going to be what's most helpful for you at this time. Okay, Mars retro in Aries, then in Pisces, then it goes direct in Pisces, and then direct in Aries, right? So this is like a reverse, redirect, respect kind of like feel of internalizing and understanding our strongest of desires, right? Because look at it, says it's between Aries and Pisces if you think about it. And how I was just even saying a while ago about there's no beginning, no end, really. Like, you know, in some astrology, Aries might be considered the first, and most astrologies, Aries is considered the first sign of the zodiac, Pisces the 12th sign of the zodiac, the final sign of the zodiac. But here you have these two in Mars going retro. So it's cycling through the whole entire shebang. Because one of them is the beginning, one of them is the end. So that means they got to cycle through every single one from beginning to end during this retro period. In the Mars aspect, right? In the Mars aspect of evolution. While Jupiter works with Mars too, further expanding whatever growth is happening here, dependent on the pixel, which is the personal experience, right? Of each light experiencing. Okay, so it's just like so many portals of energy of light that if you wanted to cipher as you are being ciphered off of too, then in your consciousness and in your awareness, then it would be wise to say that I have available to me this catalog of vortex, portal energy of energies existing before me, that came before me, that exist, you see, that I have the ability to now consciously see before me and use my consciousness as one major tool to move along here. And in the process, becoming much more clearer and clear with my own self, like, you know, and being able to move in alignment, right? So if you think about Jupiter's expansion at this time, Jupiter's energies of like victory, jubilee, I think Grandpa's Jupiter's jubilee, joy that it brings, the righteous action, the new adventures, the evolution, the expansion, the leadership, the passion, the abundance, right? So these are all multidimensional layers of like of astrological influence going all around. And you got practical Virgo visiting town, right? Groundedness, practical, like freaking king, queen of multitasking, right? Insightful, helpful, right? Self reflection with the hermit card, right? Self analysis, right? Overly critical too, but Virgos like to make practical changes and be helpful in that kind of way in a clear, organized structure, right? Neat, right? So it's important to consider what you want, your preferences, discernment here. Truth is needed here. Don't pretend to like something that you don't and just tolerate it because you think that that's what will get you liked or agreed with or keep some level of peace, because whatever once buried now shall rise. So this inner child core of pride, of this repeat in this life in this time for you to be able to jump outside third party view and see the event for what it is too, that it stems from another place. Most likely from your childhood space, right? That maybe has been somewhat erased, that created this mindset, behavior, pattern, feeling, understanding, innerstanding, perception, look at like loss, not being good enough, not seeing the cup that's before you, regret, bad choices, depression, failure, the mental agony, being so hard and overly critical, lacking thereof compassion to our own condition and state, and now rising to and above, right? Judgments here, Queen of Cups, maybe XX. But there's a will, there's a way to consider. Look at even this too, if you look at this, it's coming out of the ground. That body's coming out of the ground, just like this hand. Judgments here, right? So all these energies here influencing our lands, like now asking us to put into further creation our part, created from our heart. What has been learned? What is the lesson? What lessons are being shown? And what creative solutions are being explored to improve every one of my plans, your plans, that match in full alignment with your want, need, desire, in alchemy with your frequency and vibration, creating alchemical manifestation, a design created for celebrations. I had some them. The magician. Yes, the pentacles. Okay. Six of wands. It's like the sun. And a fiery energy. Right? A lot of creative solutions that we need to focus on and be clear with, especially when October hits, especially around the super moon, new moon that's on October 16th. Be prepared, clear, about what it is that you are marinating, manifesting, creating, vibrating, frequencying all around. Okay. And why? Why? Why do you do what you do when you do what you do? Right? Right. 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 So it's time to decide. What's it gonna be? Right? How's it gonna be? What does your creative solutions look like? What are creative solutions? What active role are you participating in your improvement plans? And are your plans being activated by old paradigms that do not fit your alignment at this time? And so since this is being brought to your attention, right, what are you prepared to do to further contribute to the evolution of you, to the awareness of you that is conscious, that breathes and sees? And with these new moon energies, I tap in to the vortexes, energies that spin, that benefit my win as I further explore, protected, multidimensionally, led by the divine. I feel this directional force at this now time in my life in full line. I rise, I shine in love, for love, with love. What inner child part of me is asking to be seen, needing some love and attention from me? These are rhetorical, so please, what's most important is that you know your own answers to these questions, as what's most important for me to know is mine. Spirit speaks, so make sure you listen. And if you're not sure of how you listen, then it's time for you to explore your listen. Because you have a way that you listen. And if you need help deciphering between your tools, your inner natural tools that you use because you have some level of confused, then you can go to enchantressbabble.com and work one-on-one with me, and I can help you to better see all the things that you naturally are. Beautiful. Yes, you are. I thank each and every one of you for joining me here. I hope that there was something in here for you that resonated with you. Either way, it's a healing channel too. And so the light codes that you receive are activating seeds of breathe that exist within you deep to align for the greatest good of our whole during this entire now time that travels through all spans of time and space, optimized this way in full grace, love, divine, rise, shine. Allow yourself to be everything that you are. You are worthy and deserving. So get into your truth. Sometimes the truth is uncomfortable, but it's a wonderful place to stand. Accepting that we can't control every outcome or thing, and we can't not move out of fear for not being received in the way we would like to be received. Truth is, we need to receive ourselves. Well, I appreciate each and every one of you. Love you so much. Thank you for coming to this healing channel for the space. Make sure to subscribe and show your love, guys. You're tuning in here. I am going to be still posting these videos on both my YouTube channels. One is being weaned off, and there is a new YouTube channel. All the information will be in the description box below. So that I ask that you follow both so that you don't miss out. And in case you get confused as which one is which, the newer channel will be whichever one you're watching it out of. I'm not sure. Either way, so just make sure you subscribe to both of them so that you don't miss the beat. The newer channel will be the one that, by the time the transition is fully made, will be the only channel that I will be posting out of for my healing stage. And so that's that kind of update. And also you can follow me on Instagram at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS, the one and only. And also my second Instagram, Enchantress, Babble. That's right. And then my blog, my baby, at enchantingbabble.blogspot.com. I also have another new blog on my website, which you can also sign up for free. All of these things are free. I do a lot of free content, and I give a lot of free content, and help in many, many kind of ways that I energetically can. I'm led to do what I do, when I do, how I do. No explanation to you. But either way, it's time to really get clear about the creative solutions that we have here about our improvement plans into our alignment that is happening always, because we are evolution expressing itself, right? So, whatever was once buried now shall rise. So, whatever is happening now during the retrograde season time, it's for your greatest, most highest good. Explore what's happening with the eyes of a child. And if that child is afraid, go back to that child from yesterday and be the loving support that was needed. All time is happening simultaneously. You never know. You might actually speak to your inner child so deep it's asleep, or ask them to speak. So more to be.